Matthew chapter number 18, verses number 1, 2, and 3. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. We see something here in the 18th chapter that plagued the disciples all the way up even until the Last Supper. This conversation about who was going to be the greatest one. Now, we must remember the disciples were wonderful people. But if I can say it like this, they were all type A personalities. In other words, they were to be the pillars of the church after the Spirit comes on the day of Pentecost or Shavuot. They were leaders. They were founders. They were groundbreakers. All of them was natural leaders in their own right. And when you have all of those natural leaders in their own right, then you're going to have a problem. Because each one of them will be jockeying, I'm better than you, or I'm better than you, I'm better than you. And this is something the master had to deal with repeatedly. Not that the disciples were bad. No, by no stretch of the imagination. It's just they was chose because they were special men. They if I can use the phrase, had the right stuff in them that the Lord could take and make and mold into leaders that will eventually lay down their life in such a hazardous time that was about to come, in such a life-threatening times. Let's take a look at a few scriptures. We can see in Mark 9:33, this question came up when they were in Capernaum. They actually disputed about it. And if you go down, you can read Matthew 20, chapter 20 through 28. This was a conversation with James and John, the sons of Zebedee. Their mom came to Jesus and was trying to make them great. I mean, it was bad enough that each one of them had this innately built in themselves, but when a mom gets involved with it, that's almost another level. But that appears to be what happened. And then we can go on. Matthew 28:11, the same thing. Mark 9:34, Mark 10:34 through 45. I mean, we can just go on. Then Luke picks his version of when it can't happen. Luke 9:46 through 48. Luke 22:24 through 27. So we can see that this constantly came up about which one of them was the greatest. Who was the top dog? Are you awesome? Am I awesome? And then Christ let them know, look, let me just tell you the truth. Unless you humble yourself like a little child, you're not even going to make it in. We as believers are not supposed to act like non-believers and constantly jockeying for position and stepping on each other, trying to fulfill leadership or trying to get positions. Because if we must remember, that's the same thing that Lucifer did. Hungered and thirst after positions. He wanted to be like the Most High. He wanted to exalt his throne above God. And that's why Christ was working with him. So, because this was such a deadly venom in the heart of the believer. God, we bless you and help us to seek you first and your kingdom and your righteousness, and all these things shall be added. Thank God.